I think what happens is it probably snapshots the settings of the last account logged off. So when you log back in, it has those settings, which is the account that doesn't have that turned off. That's my guess. Did they fix this pickaxe? Oh, they did. They actually fixed it. Those fucking bastards. No fucking way, man. Spencer needs this for his transmog with his candle hat that he got yesterday from Delves. Wait, someone's not here. Wait, everyone is here. Oh, this guy's not marked. That's Lanekeeper Grass is dead. I'm telling you, they chose it because of the tentacles. It was not fun, exactly. It's more surprised that I don't know what content there really is to do for someone casual with a raiding addiction like you. I don't know, just playing the game, what do you mean? Delves and M+. Doing world content and stuff. There's plenty outside of raiding. No, I just wasn't spawning before, Brennan. Or at least was on some ridiculously long timer, maybe.
More Titan artifacts.
Oh.
Will you have a go at bringing me some samples? I'd love to go with you, but I'm a little busy here.
I'm a little busy here. Was it Eirik now? No. This doesn't count for everyone, does it? What is this for? Valor Stone. Okay. Empty case caps. I'm good. How long am I gone for? I leave tomorrow night. And I am back streaming again next Thursday. So 6 days of no stream as far as you guys are concerned. But I arrive in London Friday morning as a travel time. And then I leave the following Wednesday and I get home Wednesday. And then we stream Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then I leave again on Sunday to go to Blizz HQ. And then I'm back.
This will greatly advance our knowledge of the
Then next stream back
Titans
is the
and their
26th, and I have no plans on leaving for any foreseeable future for this rest of this year, etc. London's vacation. Yeah, I'm gonna visit my sister. Blizz HQ is not vacation. Basically, I'm gone forever. Correct. I was supposed to be going to Germany to cast for Echo, like I said. After London. I was going to go London to Germany, cast for Echo, and then back home, but then the Blizzard thing happened, and it was just way too good of an opportunity to pass up. It was just really unfortunate timing. Tried to, it's like I said, we tried to make everything work, but there was just no doing it, man. It was like smack dab in the middle of Mythic Progression Week. There's just no two ways around it. Wait, how am I going to do this? Oh, I need to get my little sheet out. There we go. Casual gaming. Cool. You're going to Amsterdam for a week? Just on vacation? Is this like top secret? I mean, I'm under NDA. I can't talk about it. It's not World of Warcraft, by the way. What I can tell you is it's Hearthstone related. Like, it literally has nothing to do with World of Warcraft. I'm allowed to say that it is Hearthstone related, and that's literally all I can talk about. So I don't get sued by the company. Imagine all the fun jokes you could tell about getting suspended. I mean, I'm sad. Like, you know, the Echo casting thing did not happen because the two sides couldn't agree on like money or, you know, didn't like each other or something like that. Like, I was really looking forward to it too. It's just, yeah, it was unfortunate timing. At Sloot. It's my family vacation. We're spending a night in Amsterdam and Brussels to visit my sister. That sounds fun. The whole fam's going. I'm the only person interrupting in dungeons right now. Welcome to the life of a prop paladin. Yeah, that shit's in Europe, dude. Spectre. Thanks, T-Dot, man. And hello, good to see you. So yeah, so a bit of traveling now, and then while I'm gone / when I get back, it's gonna be streamathon planning for October streamathon. Quasi spooky theme. And then we do that, and then we chill, and then we do our cozy streamathon, our annual cozy streamathon for the holidays. And then it's the new year, and we do it all again. Everything. God, so gassy, dude. Y'all are so gassy. Every fucking time.
Please proceed.
That's where waterworks.
You don't look busy enough.
No, this is where waterworks. I thought that was just cash. Shouldn't I have gotten a rep from that? That's the weekly. Now let's finish World Quest stuff. So bright in the basement during the day. Yeah, I mean I have blinds there that I could put down, but
It's time.
I don't know, like a bit of natural light coming into the room makes me feel like not 100% degenerate, like 90, you know. Wait, we need 12 candles and those guys didn't drop a single one? Is this a better looted than kill mobs for it thing? Looks like it. Oh god. There are no mobs. People are farming this out. It's sunny in Toronto today, too. And I was about to say, oh, you're from Toronto, and then I read your name. I was like, ah, yeah, that completely makes sense. Yeah, I just, well, I don't know if you know, I'm in Toronto as well. Actually, north of Toronto now. I moved to Richmond Hill. Oh my god, the drop rate is terrible. Just fucking balls terrible. Best run around, just looting them. You're in Hamilton. Oh, okay. Near Niagara. Gosson was maybe looking for a house in Hamilton, too. How do you feel about that, horny old bitch? But yeah, I hope they just like back to like the Delves discussion for a sec. I do hope. I like that. Like the fun in me for Delves so far has been like discovering new drops and loot. The variation to the runs is definitely a little low, and I feel like the increased reward for doing higher difficulties up to 8, because that's, you know, what they publicly stated is cap on reward, is not, I don't know. It felt kind of weird doing a 4 and then doing an 8 and then also doing an 11, and then it's like the loot's all the same. It was just like a little I guess what I'm trying to say is knowing Blizzard well enough after all these years, I can tell that, or I have a gut feeling that they're going to not really put any more effort into Delves past what they are now, and Delves are basically just going to be dead after these next 2 to 4 weeks. Well, relatively dead, especially after Season 1. They might add like a couple more difficulties and maybe like 1 or 2 delves, but I don't know. They're not like really going to develop them outside of just doing like what the bare minimum is. Thanks, Mr. Positive. Just being realistic. I'd rather be realistic than falsely positive. And then Pikachu face. Alright, I don't know. You just go based on history. And I mean, I hope I'm wrong, right? This isn't like a, haha, I can't wait for this to happen. It's like, well, this is what usually always happens. So. But we'll see. I'm going to do some more today, right? Maybe, I'm sure there's some stuff I haven't discovered yet. I definitely had some fun moments in Delves with, like, looting, and it was cool to see, like, Zekvir pop up and shit like that, but there was also a bunch of shit where it was like, you know, killing these, like, empowered packs is going to give you more undercoin, but then they don't tell you that it's not undercoin ever. Like, I guess part of it is, and I'm curious to see, part of it is like outside of doing your 4 bountiful delves for the day, assuming you have keys for them, it doesn't feel like there's not enough incentive to do the other ones and like farm them for fun. But in all fairness, on the flip side, I haven't done them enough yet to like really solidly reach that conclusion just yet. But it's kind of what it is shaping up to feel like. I was kind of hoping for a mage tower type of thing for delves. I mean, apparently the Zek Veer challenge is tougher, but the level 11s, level 8, 9, 10s, 11s, like, they're not mage tower, that's for sure. There's also a big discrepancy with the mage tower, and it's hard to compare to that, right? Because how is this beast into critters? Okay. One of the biggest challenges with delves versus mage tower is that delves are flexible content for 1 to 5 players. Mage towers were tailored content for a single player challenge. And quite honestly, having a group for delves just objectively makes things easier. Even if the mobs scale in damage and health ×2 for everyone. Again, not damage, that would be crazy to have 5 times damage, everyone just get 1 shot, but for health, right? Which they don't, right? They scale like 70% extra per person, so there's already advantage there. You just gain massive mechanical advantage. Why? Because there's a bunch of mobs. Because you have 3 times the amount of CCs and kicks, or 2 or 4 or 5 times the amount of CCs and kicks. And there's a bunch of dangerous casts in there, and there's a bunch of, having someone heal you is helpful if you're the tank or a DPS. Like, there's just unlimited list of things as to why. Fuck's this guy? Oh, right, the Discord thing. Oh, I gotta fucking... I haven't gifted my 2 subs yet. And so as a result, and there doesn't seem to be any discrepancy, like achievement to be like, you did this on solo, outside of like self-pride and tweeting about it and shit like that. So really just doing it solo is like shooting yourself in the foot for no reason kind of thing. Some mage towers were, some mage towers were also really simple. That's true. So the tank ones weren't that easy, but I didn't do all the DPS and healer ones. So I don't have too much say in that personally. It's beast and 2 critters. What kills critters? Beast, right? Yeah. That it really wasn't like, yeah. Now again, like I said, I will be fair, right? And obviously our 11 clear yesterday clears were mean because Bran was doing 50 times the amount of damage you should be. But the fact that like level 570s were surviving in level 11s, which has nothing to do with Bran's damage output, is kind of weird. And having seen what they are now, right? The fact that there's no mechanical difference. Even if you have lower damage going in there, eventually you're just going to get the gear to have the damage to do it whatever and make it even easier to tank. Like, there wasn't anything outstanding in terms of new mechanics. It's not like you zoned into an 11 and all of a sudden there's like AoE, like there's different affixes and there's AoEs on the ground, or there's like, like lightning balls shooting across that you have to avoid while doing the delve. It was just like the same as a 9 and the same as an 8 and the same as a 10, but just higher numbers. And that was kind of like, oh. So the whole comparison to, as a result, in my opinion, the whole comparison to like a mage tower, especially because there's no time pressure, right? So I think a lot of it, especially for solo groups or maybe duo groups, is literally just going to turn into everybody's 3-minute CDs up. Cool, let's go. Bam. Cleave everything down. Burn it down. Okay, AFK for 10 minutes while Bloodlust comes back up, right? For what it's worth, by the way, I'm not advocating that they should add a timer, because I actually think those would ruin delves. So definitely they shouldn't add a timer, right? Or at least a hard timer, like Mythic Plus style. But there is no pressure at all, right, to do it fast. And so, like...
Slootgasm Yorkin together 0.
God damn it. And so, like, even in Mage Tower, there was no innate pressure in Mage Towers to be like, you have 2 minutes, that I remember. You have 2 minutes. If you don't kill this boss in 2 minutes, you literally get killed automatically and zoned out of the instance. there was innate time pressure in which if you didn't have the DPS to keep up with ads or interrupts, or you didn't kill something fast enough, you'd get overwhelmed eventually. So there's that kind of time pressure, and that doesn't exist in Delves at all. If you want to pull one mob at a time, you pull one mob at a time. And like I said, don't get me wrong, I think that's good. I think it would actually ruin the concept of Delves if they added a hard time pressure. But because these, like a literal, like you have 5 minutes to clear this dungeon kind of thing. But as a result of these things not existing and group play and all that kind of stuff, comparing like the highest difficulties to, it's just a gear check rather than like a skill mechanics check, I guess is what I'm getting at. Eventually everyone's just going to get the gear to do it. What the fuck is this? 1 second. So what was I in the middle of my rant? Right. Yeah, so Delves aren't really like much of a mechanical check even after like level 4. It's all just a numbers check that eventually everyone's going to get one way or another, whether you're going to get it faster because you farm M+ and Mythic Raid, or you just do minimal stuff for Vault. And that in itself is, I guess, to me a little disappointing, and also makes it so that any comparison to like the Mage Tower is just like not really a thing, right? Like, it's just not. So I don't even know where did they state that it would be like Mage Tower difficulty, or is that just like a rumor that started in the community? Maybe like the Zek Fear Vault will be, and I'll add a grain of salt to everything I'm saying. I haven't done literally every delve on level 11 and done the Zek Fear stuff, but so far from what I've seen, that wasn't looking to be the case. Let's do it that way. Like we did 2 different level 11 tier delves yesterday, and in no way were they like, wow, so many crazy mechanics all of a sudden. Like, this is actually really tough mechanica check. It was just the same thing with more numbers, and like less like revives and all that kind of shit. I think Delves are substandard. I think they're tuned too high for their target audience. Right, but you're also arguing once again about numbers. I don't give a shit about the numbers. Turn them down for all I care, right? But if and I say this for every game, by the way, this isn't a Warcraft thing. If you have, I remember getting in like fucking arguments about Final Fantasy like 16 and shit with people about this. If you make a difficulty setting to your game or to a system or to anything, and you preach it as this is for the people who like really want to like challenge themselves, and it's a big challenge, and then you fail to meet that challenge, that is a problem. And I don't think discussions that are like, oh, I think this is overtuned and blah blah blah, those go out the window, because that is content that is specifically tailored and created for people that want to challenge themselves. And if they fail to meet that mark, then that's a problem. Then they fail, right? We had Zekvir show up, yeah, in one of our delves yesterday. Indeed. So, sure, I don't know, maybe 8s are tuned too high for like the casual audience, like Rainy's saying. Yeah, I'm fine with that, no problem. But when you add like optional tiers that don't reward player power and be like, hey guys, this is the tough stuff, you're like, let's fucking go, right? And then they're just numbers check that like people like, it doesn't require to get better at the game. Is just like, do I have enough gear? Then it's kind of disappointing.
But don't you think in one day you cheesed the content with multi-box and now the content isn't viable to you? It's amazing content for true casuals like me, gearing multiple toons, solo on level 5s and 8s.
You're missing my point though. My point isn't that I'm not saying the content's too easy, it's stupid. That wasn't my point with this at all. And I'm completely cognizant and receptive to the fact of what happened yesterday. I'm literally the one who reported it to Kyle, and they came and watched my stream so they could fix it, right? That wasn't my point. My point was that eventually everybody is going to get to that level, and it's just a numerical challenge. What my disappointment wasn't that, oh, this was cheesed already and I got like, maybe that was even world first 11 yesterday. I don't fucking know. It doesn't matter, right? Because it wasn't a big accomplishment because of how it was obtained. My point was nothing to do with, oh, these are too easy for me and like la la la. My point was that the experience that they're providing and claimed to be for the challenge above an 8 was wholly disappointing from a mechanical standpoint. Nothing to do with numbers. Bro, they could tune that shit to require full Bis Mythic raid gear, which probably was supposed to be in their mind. It has nothing to do with that. It has the fact to do with there is no increased challenge except you just literally need better gear so you can survive melees and, you know, whatever between an 8 and 11. So when they claim that the big challenge and there's, you know, all these different new challenges and all this kind of shit, if you go and you want to challenge yourself past an 8 to go to an 11 and they fail to meet that, that's what I'm bitching about, right? That's my problem. I'm in no way attacking the concept of delves. Actually, it was the feature I was most excited for in the expansion. I think they're fun baseline. I think they're great casual content. I don't think they need to make them super hard or something at levels 1 to 8. That's in no way what I'm talking about. And I completely agree they shouldn't do that. They shouldn't like make them some kind of like untouchable content for people. And all I'm saying is that if they've built that basis for levels 1 to 8, and then they're like, by the way, for those optionally looking to challenge themselves for 9 to 11, here's the real challenge, and then they completely fail to meet that, not because of the brand bug yesterday, but because I've already now seen 9, 10, 11, and it's literally the same as 8, just adding some eye level requirement, right? I was expecting, like, you go in and there's new mechanics. The boss maybe has a new mechanic or two at the end. There's, like, fucking lightning clouds or some shit in the dungeon. Some affix, like, something to make it tougher, that you have to push your buttons better. Rather than just, like, this guy hits me a little too hard and I can't survive. I did a round of M0s. Now I have enough gear. Okay, now I can survive this guy's melee. Alright, that's my issue. Delves do change in the content as they level up. I didn't see any massive change in any of the above 8s we did yesterday, and we did a few of them. There was slightly different mob layout, but the same mobs. There was the same 1 or 2 bosses that appeared randomly throughout the dungeon, the same ones every time, and you had some packs empowered by Xal'atath. The only cool thing that happened one time was Xal'atath showed up, and that like somebody mentioned earlier, like a butcher style Diablo 4 thing, and you're like, oh, that's cool. And he had a shit ton of health and had some mechanics, and you're like, that's, and he gave you loot. That felt really cool, right? Like, he gave you loot the moment he, like, well, he didn't die. He killed you. You got him to like 50% health, and then he fucked off. And you're like, that's awesome. And that was like the only time, like, in fucking 20 runs or something yesterday that happened. Wait, what? Oh, world activities. Stricken Man, thanks for the 68er. Insanity. Thank you for the 104-monther. Jesus, dude. Welcome back. All the mid-bosses were new to what? That's all I'm saying, man. Don't get it twisted that I'm complaining that delves should like be inaccessible to a casual audience. Yeah, I'm on your side with that. You think it'd be challenging for you if you need these ultra high level solo? Sure. I think you can self-impose that challenge. I think objectively they are harder solo than in a group. Right? I don't know if you were here when we were talking about that like 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago. Because of mechanics. You have more interrupts, you have more CC, you have more damage between people scaling with, like, you know, group buffs and stuff like that and group debuffs. And the biggest thing is if you have somebody in the group that can res and somebody dies, it doesn't take away from one of your revive counters. I think people are misunderstanding harder content for numbers. Sloot is talking about adding mechanics to the harder levels, not numbers. Correct. Yes. This is a numbers irrelevant discussion. And this is a lower level irrelevant mechanics discussion in terms of I'm not like elitist advocating that like no one should be able to clear like delve level 4 unless you're fucking like super giga chad geared and like a top player and stuff like that. It has nothing to do with that.
Let fly!
Mudman, thanks for the 10-monther.
Happy 10-month Segman.
From what I've read, yeah, I mean, a lot of the delves were made easy yesterday, numbers aside, because it was like for instance, the last boss in one of the Nerubian delves we did, it was just like, oh, this boss has 3 casts, right? It has a light cast on the on their main target, the tank, whoever it may be. Not too bad. It has a bad curse, and it has some bad, like, web shit. Oh, good. We have 3 interrupts. So, or you just need 2 interrupts. Guess what you don't have if you have 1 person? Like, 1 interrupt, right? Where the hell are all these mobs? Is it below? No, these weave lashers are up here somewhere. They're just really bad spawn. Make it like Mythic Keys, add more stuff. Yeah, I mean, that's all I'm saying is that's what I was hoping for, that there was some more mechanics, right? And then that discussion led to, I'm worried that knowing how Blizzard treated like Torghast and Mythic Plus and stuff, we're not really ever going to get that. And it's disappointing to me because I think the concept of Delves is super fun. And it was like, I mean, it's not like it's literally dead or something right now, but like, is an opportunity for Blizzard. And I think they actually nailed something that's really fun for like a casual solo world exploration based player base. And that's why I was and still am excited for them, because I was like, wow, they could do so much with these, from like a low level casual perspective to like people challenging themselves. And it feels like we just kind of got like a half cooked thing, and I'm like, oh, you know, maybe, you know, and then I tell myself, I'm like, well, you know, maybe this is the first time they released them. You know how Blizzard is, they like to kind of get the system out the door, make sure it's functioning, make sure it's okay. It wasn't functioning, by the way. There were a lot of bugs. Make sure it's like okay, make sure people are liking them, and then add to stuff, right? That's always my hope. And like 9 times out of 10, they don't do that in history. And I know I sound like a fucking Debbie Downer right now, because I probably am, because I'm just talking about reality here. I'm talking based on experience, not like just guesstimating, right? They did it with Torghast, they did it with M+, they did it with it's like too many fucking systems to know. So it's like, what makes me think that this time they'll be like, yes, let's fucking go ham on Delves, you know? I don't know. Like that's what my concern is that literally in a month from now, Delves are going to be the same as the fucking cooking shit with the Tuskar people in Dragonflight. It's going to be dead content that nobody does. And that sucks, because I think it has a lot of potential, and I think it could be a lot of fun for people. And have like a massive treasure trove of mini pets and all this kind of stuff. And they did do some of that, to be fair, right? There's like that kind of Delve seasonal thing, right? But you're arguing the point Blizzard's trying to fix. You're trying to get the NBA super hard for overachiever Mythic Raiders again. No, I'm not, man. You're literally misunderstanding. You're misunderstanding what I'm arguing, Cabbage. Like, I'm literally saying the opposite of that, dude. I'm saying that they haven't added... part of it was, yes, I'm disappointed with their optional, and never said it should be more than optional. I'm disappointed with their optional, like, hey, this is the super tough content for, like, you guys, you know, that you won't be able to do for, like, X time or whatever. I'm disappointed with how they approach that. And I'm also disappointed with the amount that is provided in Delves, and my skepticism with the amount they're going to develop Delves at all levels. The casual and the elitist, whatever you want to call it, like, challenge yourselves with level 11. That's all. And maybe it's too early, and we'll see, but I'm just vibing with you guys. That's, like, my feeling so far. And you know, and, like, some of it's based on, like, past experience. Which, like, a lot of people here have. It's not like I'm talking out my ass. Like, I'm sorry, did you guys think, like, Torghast was properly handled? Did you guys think M+ was properly handled for the first, like, 6 years? Maybe even up to now, technically, for some. Where's our player housing? Like, I don't know, man. Like, what do you want me to say? I'm not trying to hate for the sake of hating, right? I'm just having a discussion. You can't always, like, have, like, a foo-foo positive discussion just, like, for the sake of it. It's just, like, the reality, dude. Like, you gotta fucking smack it hard sometimes. It's just the reality. And again, I'll say this one more time. I hope I'm wrong. I want nothing more than in 2 months from season 2, people to go, haha, fuck you, Sloot. I told you. Where the fuck are these mobs, man? Haha, Sloot, I fucking told you, you know, like, Delves, they were going to focus on Delves and they're amazing now. I'll be like, yeah, you got me. I suck. Good. Good, right? But that just, like, never happens. So, yeah. That's my concern. My concern is honestly a concern you guys should have. Is what it is about the longevity of the system.